Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Where am I today? Well, that is beautiful Moses Lake, Washington. Many of you may be wondering, where the hell is Moses Lake, Washington? Well, it's right here. Hey, listen, we're going to be talking about suppressors and the NFA again. Why is that? Well, because I believe that we are on the precipice of a major legislative change. I believe that we are on the precipice of being able to actually protect all of your hearing and saving you $200 at a time. Perhaps it is time for the NFA to be revisited, and certainly perhaps it is time for us to really take a close look at whether or not suppressors should be regulated like the other items in the NFA. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about how suppressors will be removed from the NFA. Okay, before we get going too far down the road we're going down, proud to announce that this video is being brought to you by the Mantix X10 Elite. You know, we preach all the time about lawful and responsible gun ownership here. We say, hey, in order to be the lawful and responsible gun owner, you need to be competent. You need to be proficient in the use of your firearm. Do you really have all the time and money to go to the range all the time? Well, maybe that's why you should train confidently at home. Listen, you can save thousands on ammo and you can avoid range douches like this guy right here. Did you know 94% of all shooters improve within just 20 minutes of using the Mantix X? Mantix X is used by the Marine Corps, the Army, and Special Forces. It works with any firearm. It can be used on a pistol, rifle, shotgun, even archery. You can use it at the range or you can use it at home. It installs in just seconds. It really is this simple. And once you download the app, well, then you're ready to go. And the app will drive everything. Always gets updated. You do not have to pay for a subscription. It will store all your data. It will tell you what you need to work on. It will tell you what you're getting better at. It will even allow you to put groups together and you can compare your results with all of your friends. And you know, come to think of it, it'd make a pretty cool Father's Day gift, wouldn't it? Because after all, Dad's got enough ties, doesn't he? So listen, if you're interested, go ahead and visit my friends right there at Mantix and pick up the X10 Elite. It's changed the way I'm shooting. It will change the way you shoot as well. For more information, visit my good friends at MantixX.com. Okay, so here's what we're talking about today, America. We're talking about the increasingly rapid turnaround for those individuals who have purchased a suppressor via a Form 4. Gone are the days where we would have to wait 9, 10, 11 months, maybe even more than a year to get our suppressor approved. And that, of course, discouraged many Americans from ever dipping their toes into the NFA waters. But as we know from this video right here, yeah, the ATF, after years and years of dragging their feet, suddenly just merely reversed the order of operations, and now we are seeing suppressors, Form 4 applications approved in 24 to 48 hours. 4 days right now is the longest I have heard for somebody who recently purchased a suppressor. Now, remember, the rapid turnaround time relates only to individuals who are using a Form 4, okay, which is, if you recall, a Form 4 means you are buying the item as is ready to go. If you are manufacturing the item, you will be using an ATF Form 1. However, if you are accumulating the item via a gun trust, well, wait times there have not decreased in really any way, shape, or form. Now, the ATF says they're going to be streamlining the form process to approve suppressors being accumulated under gun trust. But when that occurs and how that occurs, well, that is yet to be seen. Now, here's the thing you do need to be aware of, because ATF has been very clear on this, okay? And the gun trust lawyers are going to shoot me when I say this. But what ATF is saying is, hey, listen, if you're accumulating these items through a silencer shop or someplace like that are using standard, very simple, boilerplated trust, well, the ATF is ready to start approving those because, well, they've reviewed all of the trust language already and they know what is good, bad, or ugly about it. However, if you are out hiring an individual attorney, even Washington Gun Law, and we are structuring for you a custom designed gun trust so that you can start accumulating NFA items, understand that the wait times for those still persist to be months and months out into the future. Now, the other thing that I found out in talking to some people well within the industry is that under the old system, that $200 tax stamp that ATF was accumulating, when you took a look at all the manual labor and all the other things that went into approving Form 1s or Form 4s, yeah, the ATF was actually going backwards financially. The $200 per item would not even begin to cover the cost of approving this. However, because the ATF now has automated everything, it appears that that $200 that you're paying to have an inalienable right is actually pure profit for the ATF. What can we do about that? Well, that is why Senator Tom Cotton and many of his other Republican colleagues are now sponsoring the Repealing Illegal Freedom and Liberty Excise, better known as the Rifle Act. Now, what would the Rifle Act do other than have a really cool little acronym like that? Well, what the Rifle Act would do is it would not remove suppressors from the NFA, but it would then get rid of the $200 tax stamp that you have to pay the ATF to exercise what should be an inalienable right. According to spokespeople for Senator Cotton's office about this legislation, they were quoted as saying, "Law-abiding Americans who exercise their Second Amendment rights should not be subject to unnecessary taxes and restrictions preventing them from doing so. Passed into law in 1934, the National Firearms Act needs to be amended. Our legislation will remove the red tape that places undue financial burden on would-be gun owners. The federal government should not be placing financial barriers on the inalienable rights of Americans. This unconstitutional tax on certain firearm purchases is a direct violation of the Second Amendment and must be repealed." And of course, this legislation has been enthusiastically endorsed by both the NRA and the National Association for Gun Rights. But when we go back and we have this Bruin Enlightenment experience, where we go back and we do some serious soul searching about a lot of federal laws, many of which have been in existence for decades now. But we go back and we take a look at these laws through the historical and text analysis that the Bruin opinion mandates. We're beginning to awaken to the fact that many of these laws, including large portions, if not the entirety of the NFA, is in fact unconstitutional. So the time, America, for us to fight to at least remove suppressors from the NFA, well, that time is right now. Listen, we're going to go ahead and link up everything we relied upon in making this story so that you guys can geek out on it for yourself. If you have any ideas for videos that we should be doing here at Washington Gun Law, you just need to click on that link right there. Some of the best videos we ever did weren't really our ideas to begin with. If you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington Gun Law by now. If you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. And then finally, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. From beautiful Moses Lake, Washington, thanks for watching and stay safe.